Kind of go along with central and inscribed angles, we have these other two types of angles we're going to talk about. And different people call these different things. I call them interior and exterior angles. So when I see angles that look like this, I see all the X's are on the outside of the circle. So I call these exterior angles. That looks awful. Sorry about that. Exterior angles. Um, and if we look at this one on the left, the top left, sometimes people call those like angles with secant lines because AC would kind of be a secant, ray kind of. The bottom left, people would call that a tangent secant problem. And on the right side, people would call that a tangent problem. I would just rather call them all exterior angles. It's all the same rule, no matter which one. So I like following the same rule. Now, with exterior angles, our rule is the angle equals 1/2 times the big arc minus the small arc. This is a rule you need to commit to memory right there. So if I'm looking at the one on the left side, the angle, the outside angle is x equals 1/2. The big arc is 106 and the small arc is 22. And I could just punch that one in my calculator. That's a real nice, easy one. I think that is half of 42. And this one on the bottom left, I've got the angle x equals 1/2 the big arc minus the small arc. And 170 minus 48 is 122, and half of that is 61 degrees, I believe. And the one on the top right, I've got the angle x equals 1/2. Big arc is 280 minus the small arc is 80. That's 200. I think it's 100. Hey, I'd push pause right now. Try these. See if you can get these. I've got the angle equals 1/2 the big arc minus the small arc. So I got x is the angle 1/2. Big arc is 152 minus 64. And 152 minus 64 is 88. Half of that is 44. Next one, I've got the angle is x equals 1/2. Big arc is 110 minus the small arc is 58. 110 minus 58 is 52. Half of 52 is 26 degrees. Those are so nice and easy. Okay. Similarly, we have these types of angles. And depending on who you ask, sometimes they call them like intersecting chord problems. Sometimes they will describe them as secant problems inside the circle. I don't really like that, but I call them interior angles. Interior angles. And the formula is very similar to the last one for exterior angles. This one is angle equals 1/2 big arc plus the small arc. So instead of minus the small arc, we're going to say plus the small arc. And the way that I kind of remember that this one is the plus sign is I've had students tell me in the past, like, look, it makes a plus sign right there. Or, turn your head a little to the left. Oh, there's a plus sign right there. So that's kind of how some students remember that. I've got the angle is this inside angle on the left side is x equals 1/2. The big arc is 68 plus the small arc is 54. And I'm gonna add 68 and 54 and get 122 times 1/2 is 61. Down here on the bottom, I'm gonna have the angle equals 1/2, 105 plus 95. 105 plus 95 is 300. Half of 300 is 150 degrees. And this last one, I've got the angle is equal to 1/2 big arc plus the small arc. That would be 260. This is 130, I think. Okay. Push pause, try these two really quickly. All right, I've got X, the interior angle equals 1/2 big arc plus the small arc. And when I punch all that in my calculator, I think that's 106.53. And on the right side, I've got the angle equals 1/2 big arc plus the small arc. That equals, I think, 49 degrees. Okay. Now, those are real nice and easy. These are a little bit different. They have something else missing other than just that angle. So I'm going to write my formula out right here. I've got the angle equals 1/2 big arc plus small arc on this one. And I'm just going to fill in what I've got. So I've got 64 right here equals 1/2 big arc is X plus the small arc is 28. Now, a couple different ways to go about this. Sometimes students like multiplying both sides by 2. And they'll say, okay, I got to get rid of this 1/2 over here. And they'll multiply that side by 2. And they'll multiply that by 2. And the 2's will cancel with a 1/2. And then over here, I'd have 128 equals X plus 28. And then I subtract the 28 and I get 100. Another common way that people solve these problems is that they distribute. So they got the angle is 64 equals 1/2 big arc plus small arc. They'll distribute this 1/2 to both of these. And they'll get 64 equals 1/2 X plus 14. 1/2 times 28 is 14. And then they'll subtract the 14 over and get 50 over here equals 1/2 X. And the calculators we got are smart enough to divide by 1/2, so you could divide by 1/2 on both sides if you wanted to. Sometimes people will multiply by 2 on both sides now to get rid of the 1/2, but your calculator is smart enough to do 50 divided by 1/2. And that would give you 100, just like we got earlier. Either way works. Next one, I've got the angle equals 1/2 big arc minus the small arc because it's an exterior angle. So the angle is 49 equals 1/2 big arc is X minus the small arc 72. And since I left it up the other way on the left side, I'm going to multiply by 2 on this side. So I'm going to multiply everything over here by 2, multiply everything over here by 2. So when I multiply the stuff on the right side, these will cancel each other out. I'm left with 98 equals X minus 72. Add the 72 over and you get 170. Either way works.